Traffic Police gives motorists 3 days to acquire driving license. The Guild President of Makerere University, Alliance Lawrence Dangote, explains his achievements so far as 1 month and what he's looking up to. Minister Namuganza sends a case to be scrutinized by a 7-member select committee. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni receives the Climate Mobility Champion Leader Award. Politicians urged to tap into President Museveni's development initiatives to increase their political mileage. Uganda Cranes head coach names final squad for the 2022 CHAN tournament. Welcome, this is Live at 8. My name is MASERUKA Robert and we are straight from the studios of Ndejje University TV, and this is the news in details. While in the press conference, the traffic and road safety spokesperson Farida Nampima cautioned drivers to respect road safety rules and also respect other road users. Ansle Mojaru has the details.
Uganda Police is moving to stunt carnage on roads across the country. The Traffic Police Department says bus companies must have independent route charts and all drivers must have badges.
Following the recent bus crashes in the country, the Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety has taken a decision to the driver badge reinstatement. We are going to reinstate the driver badge immediately. All bus owners are hereby instructed submit particulars of all bus drivers to the Ministry of Works and Transport for verification. This started on 6th January 2023. This exercise will only last for 1 week. Thereafter, no bus driver will be allowed on the road without a badge. Every bus driver driving on the road will be expected to display a photo, his own photo, in that bus, a copy of the badge which will have his photo, his names, his driving license number and the classes he has, the bus company he's operating. This will help traffic police to trace the movements of buses, to stop return journeys, and to stop drivers who shift from one company to another after causing crashes on the road. Each bus company must have an independent route chart. It has come to our attention that you find 2 different companies are sharing one route chart, which is wrong. It ends today and now. So every bus company must have an independent route chart for its buses. Bus owners are reminded to operate their buses within the prescribed time issued out on those route charts. No bus will be allowed to operate on the road out of time.
Motorcyclists have 3 days to acquire a driving license, with operation against those without or using invalid documents to start on Thursday. The Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety has taken a decision to reinstate driver badges immediately, the Traffic Police spokesperson Farida Nampima revealed in a press conference. She noted that the badge in every passenger bus must clearly display the driver's photos, their name, permit number, class of driving permit and a bus company to help police monitor the movement of buses. The driving speed along the highway in Uganda is 100 kilometers per hour and the highway in Uganda is 100 kilometers per hour. Reckless driving is the leading cause of road accidents in the country. Ansle Mojaru, Live at 8.
Thank you, Ansle. It is 1 month since the swearing-in of the Guild President and the Guild Cabinet, together with the GRCs of Makerere University. In this, they made promises to Makererians. This is what the Guild President has to say on the achievement and the way forward. Let's have more of the details.
Ever since the day of swearing in, like I did say before, when I have a very short time of government, you want to be as specific and as swift as possible. And that is what we have done as the 88th Guild government of Makerere University. Ever since the day of institution, we have been able, one, to log or to start the famous Mark at 100 Guild Dialogue series, because the university celebrated 100 years last year, but Students Guild will be celebrating 100 years this year. So in honor of that, but to bring back the Makerere that we know that influenced national leadership, we have what we call the Mark at 100 Guild Dialogue series, where of course members of the public, the students, members of management dialogue, but most importantly, debate on issues affecting us as students, but issues affecting Ugandans at large, and deliberate on those, because that is how we think the country can benefit from our intellect as the students of Makerere University. It's a non-political venture to tap to the vast intellect of Makerere University, and we had the first series. The next series is going to be on Friday, and we're inviting all members of the public, all members of parliament, the civil society, and students themselves out in large numbers to listen to our well-selected panel who will be discussing the housing plan, the housing policy of this country. How effective is it to students, fresh graduates, the police, and low-income earning families? Secondly, we have lodged in, and we are already making preparations for the Mark at 100 caravan, where we reach out the 13 original districts of Uganda who contributed money to start Makerere University in 1922. So we are saying, can we reach out to thank these districts? Can we make the country feel the presence of Makerere University? Can we make the realize that the Makerere University is still that university for them, that they were able to put everything on the line for about 100 years ago? And then secondly, we have been able to probe management in the most friendly way possible, for them to first of all disclose to us when they're planning to start renovating the Lumumba Hall after closing it for over 2 months now, when they're planning to when they're planning to finish the renovation, and what is the nature of the renovation going to take place, and what is the fate of the other halls of residence as they lie in their terrible states, or what is their fate in terms of renovation of halls of residence. So I wrote the Vice Chancellor of Makerere University, and was able to write to me in feedback that the renovation will commence and the next financial year, the third quarter of the financial year. Then the renovation will take 1 full year, and the renovation is a full renovation, while the other halls will face a phased renovation. The letter will be out today because I picked it from his office earlier on today. But also the things that are waiting to be commenced. One, we plan to start the caravan movement, where we reach out to the 13 original districts of Uganda. But the 88th Guild government has an activity field plan, and among them was one of the things we are lodging for was management to provide us in our term of government with a comprehensive plan for next lecture rooms. I have urged before that the university that marks 100 years but still suffers in inadequacy of lecture rooms has its priorities misplaced. So we plan to place the priority of this university very right. And before we leave this office, we want to promise Makererians that management would have come up with a comprehensive plan to provide for students to have lecture rooms, not halls of residence as lecture rooms. We're on that plan, and before we are done, we shall. Secondly, we are saying that at Makerere University, the government student receives 4,500 as food allowance. And now, if the student is humble enough to eat beans the whole semester, the student can only eat one meal, because a meal of beans is 3,500 at all restaurants around Makerere University, and that is the cheapest. Others go up to 7,000. So imagine a very humble student of government sponsorship only gets 4,500, and that is one meal. Let's assume the 1,500 is for breakfast. The student will go with that supper the whole semester. So we have developed a comprehensive plan to probe government directly or to the help of management to increase the allowance of government students from 4,500 to 10,000. I have been able to assemble a council of all guild presidents in this country of all public universities. We held the first meeting already, and the second meeting is taking place tomorrow for all guild presidents, the vice presidents, and finance and information ministers across this entire country for all public universities. And we are scheduled to meet the Parliamentary Committee on Finance and Planning, and also a press conference to present our case and explain in detail how ineffective government is if it does not realize in financing government students. Thank you.
The Parliament has constituted a 7-member select committee to investigate and censor the motion against the State Minister for Lands, Honorable Persis Namuganza. Frank Senabulia has the details.
Those in favor say aye, and to the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
On 23rd December 2022, Agago North Member of Parliament Honorable John Amos Okot tabled a censure motion against the State Minister for Lands and Housing, Honorable Persis Namuganza, for contempt of Parliament.
I beg to move a motion for resolution of Parliament to pass a vote of censure against Honorable Persis Namuganza, Princess, State Minister for Lands, Housing and Urban Development.
At the time of tabling this motion, over 200 legislators had appended their signatures in support of the censure.
We are not censoring her because of our personal and individual differences with other members. But we are looking at the parliamentary institutions and our conduct as the minister.
The MPs launched the censure motion following Honorable Namuganza's refusal to apologize to Parliament for her media remarks in May 2022, which were considered to have defamed parliamentary operations. The Prime Minister, who is also the lead of government business in Parliament, Right Honorable Robin Anabanja, had also asked Honorable Namuganza to apologize.
On behalf of government, request my sister. It costs nothing. It costs nothing. We don't need to drag this house in this. Can you please stand up and apologize?
Right, Honorable and honorable members, if I hurt you in any way, I regret.
Censure is provided for in our laws.
Honorable Namuganza is accused of undermining the integrity of Parliament by making defamatory remarks against an ad hoc committee which had been set by Parliament to probe her involvement in the controversial Nakawa-Nagru land giveaway.
Parliament, while considering the report of the ad hoc committee on the Naguru-Nakawa land allocations, found that Honorable Princess Namuganza, Princess, abused her office and authority by directing Uganda Land Commission to allocate land to entities while purporting to communicate presidential directives which were non-existent, and resolved that Honorable Princess Namuganza, Princess, be held accountable for abuse of office.
It is against this background that the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Thomas Taiwa, while presiding over the special plenary sitting held on Friday, 6th January 2023, named a 7-member select committee to investigate a censure motion against Honorable Princess Namuganza in accordance with Rule 109 of the Parliamentary Rules of Procedure.
On the 23rd of December, we came here and the Honorable Amos Okot presented a motion for censure of the Honorable Princess Namuganza as per Rule 109 of our Rules of Procedure and Article 118 of the Constitution, as it had garnered the required signatures that are provided for under our Rules of Procedure. And on that same day, I transmitted that same motion to the President. Under Rule 109, Sub-Rule 9, it's very clear that within 14 days, after 14 days of transmitting it to the President, I must cause Parliament to sit and appoint a select committee that will investigate the Minister with the aim of establishing a prima facie case.
According to the Deputy Speaker, the Select Committee is expected to accord a fair hearing to the accused and report back to Parliament within 15 days.
I therefore propose the following members. Number 1, Honorable Mwinempaka Ramirama, Mbarasite South, as chairperson of the committee. Honorable Nwagaba Wilfred Ndogwa East, one of the senior legislators and the custodians of the rules, ensure that the rules are well followed. Honorable Mpindi Bumari, people with disabilities. Honorable Bakaburindi Charles, for workers. Honorable Nancy Achora, woman MP Lamo District. Honorable Narima Betty Esther, woman MP Wakiso District. And the Honorable Geoffrey Ekanya, Tororo North. Members, I now want to put a question. That the committee be approved. Those in favor say aye, and to the contrary nay. The ayes have it. That committee, in the process, under the same rule, it allows, number 1, that it can co-opt any member to support it in its duty. Number 2, it allows the honorable who is accused, any member accused, to appear before the committee, either directly or through the representative, and defend themselves. So it would ensure that indeed rules of natural justice are followed.
Parliament has previously sacked several ministers, including Brigadier G. Muhez in March 1998 and Honorable Sam Kutesa in 1999, who were both accused of misuse of office and influence peddling. Some other ministers are remembered to have been forced by Parliament to resign from their ministerial positions. The late Honorable Kirunda Kivejinja resigned in June 1997 over allegations of diverting 2,000 litres of fuel across government projects. In December 1998, Honorable Matthew Ruki Kaire, who was the Minister for Privatization, was also pressurized to resign from cabinet over the fraudulent sale of Uganda Commercial Bank to a shady Malaysian group. In December 2001, Honorable Kabakumba Masko, who served as Minister for Presidency then, was also forced to resign when Parliament tabled a censure motion against her for illegally using Uganda Broadcasting Corporation UBC equipment and the transmitter at her private radio station. Nevertheless, there are also other censure motions that flopped in the past. These include the 2013 censure motion against Minister Frank Tumwebaze and the 2020 censure motion against the late Eli Tumwine during his tenure as Security Minister. Frank Senabulia, live at 8.
Outside the
Thank you, Senabulia. On Monday 9th, 20 and 23, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni received his Leadership Award on the commitment towards the preservation and protection of the environment. Sarah Chirabo has the details.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni in November last year awarded with the Climate Mobility Champion Leader Award at the 2-week-long climate change convention that took place in Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt. The first Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for East African Affairs, Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, who received the award on behalf of the President, delivered it to him yesterday evening at State House Ndejje. The President was in company of First Lady Janet Museveni. President Museveni has on several occasions issued statements and warned the public against destroying the environment for human activities and called upon Ugandans to focus on fighting environmental degradation, which is a big danger to human existence.
I appeal to you to take advantage of this opportunity to further discuss discussions on climate change and human mobility, to inform the upcoming 27th United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change Conference of the Parties, COP27, that is scheduled to take place in Egypt later this year.
He wants communities living around rivers and lakes to leave protection zones of 100 meters and 200 meters respectively, in order to protect the integrity of the fragile ecosystems. Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, who led Uganda's delegation at the COP27 meeting, which was the 27th conference of parties under the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, described the recognition as a big honor and motivation for Uganda to continue on the issues of climate change. Uganda was awarded alongside Botswana and Niger in the same category. At the same conference, Uganda was also recognized for its progressive open-door refugee policy, making it largest refugee hosting country in Africa, with over 1.5 million refugees, most of them from South Sudan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Burundi, and Somalia. In addition to hosting more refugees, Uganda allows refugees the right to work and significant freedom of movement. Uganda is also one of the top 5 refugee hosting countries in the world. Sala Chirabo, live at 8.
Thank you, Sarah. The State House Comptroller, Ms. Jane Barieche, has advised politicians to support presidential development programs. Ansley Mojaru has the details.
Jane Bariechi, the State House Comptroller, while addressing graduates in Toro, said if politicians become part and parcel of the presidential initiatives and they come out successful, it will be very easy for them to convince their voters that they indeed did something to develop their areas, thus making it easy for them to be voted again back to their political offices. Bariechi made the remarks on Monday during the graduation ceremony at Toro Zonal Industrial Hub in Chenjojo District. The successful beneficiaries received Level 1 certificates after training in different vocational disciplines such as carpentry, welding, tailoring, and hairdressing. The comptroller also expressed gratitude towards President Yoweri Museveni for having Uganda at heart and for always working around the clock to come up with ideas that would transform the country socially and economically. Ms. Bariechi further revealed that State House was going to set up a well-equipped common user facility at the hub, which the beneficiaries will use to produce goods free of charge, sell them and earn a living. Dr. Faith Kanihira, the woman member for Ndejje district, commended President Museveni for initiating the project of skilling the youth, saying that the program will greatly help to curb the challenge of unemployment in the country. Honorable Flavia Kabahinda, the Chengegwa District Woman MP, also chairperson of Committee on Gender, Labour and Social Development, tasked stakeholders to work hand in hand to ensure that beneficiaries are always given working toolkits upon completion of their training to make it easy for them to put their skills into good use. Engineer Raymond Kamgisha, the Director of Presidential Projects and Industrial Hubs at State House, also advised the graduates to look for more opportunities by upgrading. On the other hand, Cynthia Kamasaka, the manager of Toro Zonal Industrial Hub, said they admitted 203 students from 6 administrative districts, namely Ndejje, Kamwenge, Kabarole, Chengegwa, Chitagwenda, and Bunyangabu district. However, 2 students dropped out because they had registered for courses which they did not have at the hub, thus leaving the number to 201. She said the students were trained in mindset and vocational skills for 5 months, starting from 3rd August 2022 up to 23rd December 2022. Anselm Ojaro, live at
Beautiful
8.
Smiles and everybody.
Thank you, Anselm. Now, sports. Coach Milton Mucho has named the final squad that is going to represent Uganda in the African Nations Championship. Sarah Chirabo has the details.
Vipers Duona Jibiga and Sludge Centum will not be part of the Uganda Cranes team that will play at African Nations Championship this year. Coach Milton Serdojovic confirmed on Monday that the aforementioned 2 players are ruled out of the tournament due to injuries. Yiga suffered an ankle injury in the friendly game that Uganda played against Mali on Sunday. In the other hand, Centum did not even play the game against Mali and only came on as a substitute in the 1-1 draw against Cameroon on Thursday. From Tunisia, the team will connect to Annaba, Algeria on Wednesday, where Uganda is pooled in Group B alongside the Democratic Republic of Congo, Senegal and Ivory Coast. Uganda has featured at CHAN on 5 occasions, namely 2011, 2014, 2016, 2018 and 2020. Uganda Cranes final squad of 23 players of CHAN 2022 include goalkeepers Nafian Alliance, Joel Mutakubwa and Jack Komakech. Defenders Ashraf Mandela, James Besiga, Derrick Ndahiro, Issa Mobiru, Hilary Mukundani, Kenneth Semakula, Godfrey Waswa and Gifty Fred. Midfielders Marvin Youngman, Abdukarim Watambala and Moses Waiswa. Forwards Milton Kalisa, Ibrahim Olit, Travis Mutiaba, Moses Ariro, Rogers Kasim Mato, Bright Anukani, Titus Sematimba, Frank Sebufu and Nelson Senkatuka. Sala Chirabo, Alan Gamol, live at 8.
Thank you so much, our dear viewers. This is MASERUKA Robert, and we are straight from the studios of Ndejje University TV. This is live at 8. Let us meet tomorrow on the same station and in the same time. Thank you and a Happy New Year.